So this is kind of another peek into the future. It doesn't have anything to do with AI, but it has a look into the future Bitcoin economy, I guess you'd say. So this is, I don't know his name, but doesn't matter.
We look out 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and we think there's going to be a robust Bitcoin economy. And that economy has all sorts of special features I don't need to tell you about, which is that like there's no government behind it, and it's decentralized, and you always have the option of self-custody and self-sovereignty. But we sat down at the beginning of running this business, and we actually just made a list of all the financial institutions we think are going to need to exist in that economy. So like, they're going to need to be an exchange. There's going to need to be an asset manager. There's going to need to be a bank. There's going to need to be an insurance company. And we were sort of thinking about all those, and we just got really fascinated by life insurance, both what it does for users and why it's important for people to have life insurance. And then the other hand, we think that life insurance like plays a really critical role in economies. Like, many of the mortgages in the country are owned by life insurance companies. Many of the buildings, the infrastructure. Because what's special about life insurance companies is that you make very, very long promises, but that also means that you can make really, really long investments. And we think that's something different and new in Bitcoin. Instead of worrying about the price of Bitcoin today or this month or this year, we should be thinking a few halvings ahead, actually. And that's the kind of thinking you can do if you're a life insurance company.
So we get a look at all these. I wanted to keep this comment up on the screen because it's true. Just in case I clip this later, people will be able to look at that comment for the whole video. But, we think about the life insurance and how things work now. And we think about the clown world and the last couple minutes we've spent on the show here. Things that really make no sense at all. No sense at all. And then you listen to guys like this speak, and you think about things in Bitcoin and just how much things could actually improve with the right kind of people in charge. And how much sense does that make? Because for me personally, I have life insurance. Anybody who has a mortgage pretty much has life insurance. There's people out there who think that that's all going to go away with Bitcoin. I don't think it is. I think Bitcoin is just going to be the unit of measurement. Everything's going to be repriced in Bitcoin. And that's what banks are actually going to do more of in the future, is hold Bitcoin and lend against Bitcoin. But with this kind of stuff, I have life insurance. So if you think about it, I got mine at like 20 years old. And I probably won't need it until I'm hopefully 230 years old. So if you think about that, if you think about how much inflation, like the inflation that we're going through right now didn't exist back when life insurance companies started up, right? So now you put in $60 a month for the first, 50 years. But think about how much that is going down in value. Not only your actual the fund itself, your I don't even know what you'd call it in life insurance, but you pay into it and it's a liability for them. It's like your own little fund of life insurance that you're paying into over your life. But not only is that just like losing value, but at the same time, like the further that goes, the less valuable it becomes when you go to actually cash it out. So $50,000 or whatever your life insurance policy is, your premium or I don't know, I'm having issues with words right now, but you know what I'm saying, the payout for it. I forget what it's called if you happen to die. But think about what $50,000 got back in 2015 versus what $50,000 is going to get in 2025. And then you stretch that out for another couple decades. And, in 2045, $50,000, your life insurance policy might buy a fucking steak dinner at the time. So that's the current system that we're living in. That's the banana land, clown world. Makes no sense and making less sense as each day goes on here, and every dollar that they create out of nothing. But then you flip it on its head and you have an asset like Bitcoin where you pay in slowly, and 50 years from now, if you're watching the show, you have an idea of what the price of Bitcoin could be in 50 years from now. And so all of a sudden you're paying in Bitcoin. You're not paying in fiat, but you're paying in Bitcoin. So it doesn't really matter about the inflation and that kind of stuff. And so let's say you put in 1 million sats per year for 50 years. And all of a sudden in 50 years from now, you have 50 million Bitcoin. What do you think that's going to be worth? It's not like they take a portion of it and relate it to fiat at all. You're paying in Bitcoin. And when you die and whoever gets your life insurance policy, they get paid in the Bitcoin. It just makes so much sense. And so these guys are way ahead of their time. You never want to be the first through the door in these kind of industries. So that's what I'm a little bit worried about for this fella here. But at the same time, that's where I see MicroStrategy going towards in the future. That path. Matt says the future is a bright orange dream world. It really is. And I think that we're going to have a lot of pain getting to that point. But once you start thinking like in terms of that and how much better everything is going to be, that's what gets me out of bed in the morning.